This is going to be a video talking about the 5 things that I dislike about this E55 AMG. Now, it's not things I really hate, but it's 5 things that I kind of dislike with the car. Now, there's a lot to like, but I'll talk about what there is to dislike. The first thing that I dislike about this car is the way it drives. Not the straight line performance, that's very good, but the cornering ability of this car. It's definitely behind the competition, like such as the BMW M5. But that's part of the reason of this appeal of this car. It's sort of like a straight line performer, rather than a car designed specifically for handling. In the corners, this car tends to roll quite a bit due to the air suspension, the heavy weight of the car. This car also has quite heavy steering, needing quite a lot of input. So it's not really comparable in terms of handling to the rival cars. This car is not really suited to cornering on the track like an M5. It's really only better suited towards straight line performance and sort of high-speed autobahn cruising. The E55 AMG, in my opinion, can be compared more to sort of American cars of the time, like the SVT Cobra or something like that. Definitely cars more suited to straight line performance. The second thing that I dislike about this car is that it never came with a manual transmission option, which kind of sucks because of the engine's performance and torque. It would be really fun to drive a manual transmission with this engine. Some of the potential advantages of that, though, are that you don't have to change any clutches, and then these automatic transmissions from Mercedes do last pretty long, and they are pretty tough. The third thing I dislike about the E55 AMG is that it's quite a heavy car, over 4,000 pounds with the normal trim, and 4,200 with this panoramic roof. Although a potential advantage with the panoramic roof is that it gives the roof of the car quite a nice black finish. The fourth thing I dislike about this car is something that a lot of people dislike about this car. It's the SBC. Basically, this system is electronically operated brakes, so it's sort of braking by wire. Now, the problem with this is that it runs this very high pressure pump here, which tends to fail at higher mileages and can be quite costly. The disadvantage with SBC is that the system tends to deliver kind of artificial brake feel, or brake feel that might feel unnatural compared to a conventional system. So while it does feel smooth, it tends to deliver braking that's maybe not as powerful as a conventional system, and it does feel quite unnatural. The potential advantage of this system is that it does help you brake more instantaneously, and also it does deliver quite smooth braking compared to a conventional system. But the fate of this system was decided that it wasn't the way to go, and newer Mercedes cars don't have this. They have a conventional braking system. The final thing I dislike about this car is the design of the supercharger intercooler system. It's a compact design which I guess helps package the system, but it is not the most efficient system out there. The problem with the supercharger design is that the exchange of the cooling happens in the V of the V8, and that kind of hinders efficiency, as Weiztech calls this supercharger intercooler system an interheater. This supercharger design tends to make the car heat soak and lose power at higher temperatures. This problem can be remedied on a stock car if you switch over to a more powerful intercooler pump such as the Bosch 010 pump. Often with this car, when it's modded for more power and operating in higher temperatures, people tend to add secondary reservoirs for coolant or secondary pumps for the intercooler, as well as a bigger heat exchanger. All this together tends to improve the intake air temperatures drastically. So that's the 5 things that I dislike about this E55 AMG. Not really too much when you think about the whole package, and especially how old the car is.